The grand Manila Post Office stands silent under the cloak of night. Its imposing architecture, bathed in moonlight, casts long shadows that stretch across the marble floors. The only light comes from a solitary desk lamp in the security office, where Ricky, the lone security guard, sits monitoring the dimly lit corridors on a series of old security cameras. A heavy silence pervades the building, broken only by the occasional hum of distant machinery. The clock on the wall ticks monotonously, each second echoing through the empty hallways. Suddenly, the silence is pierced by the unnerving sound of clinking chains, faint but distinct. Ricky's head jerks up, his eyes scanning the security monitors. The corridors appear empty, yet the eerie sound persists, growing louder and more insistent. With a mix of curiosity and trepidation, Ricky grabs his flashlight and ventures out into the darkness. The temperature in the hallway drops noticeably as Ricky walks, his breath forming visible clouds in the chill. The clinking of chains transforms into a dragging sound, accompanied by soft, ghostly whispers that seem to swirl around him. Ricky's flashlight sweeps over the dimly lit corridor, revealing nothing but shadows and dust. He moves cautiously, his flashlight catching a fleeting glimpse of a ghostly figure, a Japanese soldier dragging chains across the floor. The apparition appears weary and tormented, its face contorted in a silent scream of agony. Ricky's heart races as he stumbles backward, his flashlight flickering erratically. Before he can regain his composure, the sound of marching fills the air. Ghostly figures of Japanese soldiers appear in a ghostly parade, their faces frozen in expressions of fear and determination. They seem to be pursuing a spectral figure, a young girl in a white dress, her form ethereal and faint, her face obscured by shadows. Ricky retreats, his mind racing as he struggles to make sense of the supernatural spectacle unfolding before him. The girl's figure vanishes as abruptly as it appeared, leaving Ricky alone with the haunting echoes of the soldiers' march. A loud crash from a nearby room startles him, pulling him from his daze. Ricky cautiously approaches the storage room, the air heavy with foreboding. The room is cluttered with dusty mail bags and old letters scattered haphazardly across the floor. In the dim beam of his flashlight, he notices a cluster of envelopes, each marked with a dark, blood-red ink. He kneels and picks up one of the envelopes, his hands trembling as he carefully opens it. Inside, he finds a letter written in a shaky, ghostly script. The letter, stained with a dark, ominous ink, speaks of sorrow and a plea for release. The letter reveals a connection between the spirits and a series of undelivered messages. The ghosts are trapped in their past, their souls bound to the post office by their unfulfilled final wishes. Ricky's flashlight flickers as he sees another ghostly presence. A woman in a white dress, her attire stained with blood, standing silently in the shadows. The woman's mournful gaze seems to direct Ricky's attention towards an old, forgotten box labeled "Unresolved Cases." He carefully opens the box, discovering more letters detailing the tragic fates of individuals from World War II, their last messages left unsent and unheeded. As Ricky reads through the letters, the atmosphere in the post office begins to shift. The oppressive chill lifts, and the ghostly apparitions grow quieter. The once terrifying sounds of dragging chains and distant marching fade, replaced by a profound stillness. Ricky's sense of dread begins to recede as he understands the gravity of the ghost's plight. He realizes that these spirits are not malevolent, but are instead desperate to have their stories told and their messages delivered. The tranquility of the post office returns as Ricky finishes reading the letters, the ghosts finally finding some semblance of peace. The first light of dawn filters through the windows of the post office, casting a warm glow over the grand building. Ricky returns to the security office, exhausted but relieved. The post office, once haunted and oppressive, now stands serene and calm.
I'm under your bed.